exciting all around the globe. Breaking it down dynamic. Tune in, listen up. Don't want to miss the flow. It's Coach Ed Reed and Attack the Sports Show. From the courts to the field, he's got the stats. Dropping knowledge where the real fans at. So stand up, get ready for the play. Wave your arms in the air, let's hear you say. Coach Ed, our mentor on the mic. Breaking down the game, every highlight. Analyzing plays, court the turf the like. Youth leagues, college dreams, pro spotlight. Tackling the facts, defense or attack. He's got the vision, shows you where it's at. We grab the scoop, no stone left unturned. In Coach Ed's realm, the knowledge earned.
Peace and blessings, everyone. It's me, it's Coach Ed. I'm back, and I really am excited to be back today to talk to you, bring you another Coach Ed's Reading Attack Sports Show. Today, we're going to be doing a talk about what's going on in the NBA. There's a lot going on there, so it's really exciting. A really exciting time, really an intriguing time to be talking the NBA. So I'm looking forward to dive into the talk there within the NBA. So, but let's get ready to turn it on and turn it up. Let's check the chat real quick. My man Arku, he's in here. Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for tapping in, man. Make sure you let us know what's going on. I know you're excited about what's happening with OKC. Y'all did your thing there. Kind of hard for me as a Knicks fan. You getting one of our boys there. So, but congrats to you guys. You guys definitely did your thing. So, I'm definitely going to get into it right now. So let's go ahead. I started to talk right there with what's going on in OKC today. The big news in Knicks world. Isaiah Hartenstein has left the New York Knicks, and he's going over to the West Side, and he's going over to Oklahoma City to join that young core, that young group. They got a lot going on over there, and he will fit in nicely to what they're trying to do overall. He does a good job in terms of rim protection, rebounding. He has a decent offensive game. He's not someone who's going to hit it from the outside, but he has that excellent floater. And one of the things that I think that he does extremely well on is in passing. With Hartenstein, I think he's going to definitely help OKC. Last year, they were number one in the West, so he's going to take it to another. You want to know what, Arku? He's both. He's biracial. He's actually black and white, and most people are surprised when they hear the story. Even though he was living in Germany, I think he was born in Germany, but his parents are biracial. I believe his dad is white and his mother is black. But he'll tell you, he's black. There's no doubt about it. So just looks like he's a light skinned brother. That's all. But still overall in terms of his talent, definitely will fit in. Big loss to the Knicks world, no matter what. There's debates on, we don't need him per se. We have Mitchell Robinson, but he was a good complement to what Mitchell brings to the table. Both of them together were excellent offensive rebounders. They do protect the rim for the most part. So, it's definitely a big loss for New York. But hey, that's the business. That's what you have to deal with, going in terms of pro sports. But right now in the NBA, players are moving around. So, and in terms of, OKC, I think Hartenstein is definitely going to be one that's going to help them take their game to another level. He may even help get them to the finals, whether the West Coast or the NBA finals. He may help them get there, so he takes some of that pressure off of Chet Holmgren to be the only rim protector. Chet is slight of build, so Hartenstein will give you, a certain level of physicality. Yeah, there were times last year that I don't want to say got manhandled, but he got bullied by Joel Embiid. That's a fact. But he still held his own. He still did his thing, and no matter what when anyone tries to tell me, I know Hartenstein is going to be a big loss to the Knicks. It's not just about Mitchell Robinson because love Mitch. I love what he brings to the table, especially on the defensive side. But the biggest factor is injuries. That's going to be the big thing in terms of what can hurt the Knicks. Going through the long run. But I mean, Hartenstein to me though wasn't the big news. I mean, it comes from the NBA champions. I'm looking at ESPN right now, and Jason Tatum signing for a 5-year, $314 million contract extension. I mean, $314 million. You got two $300 million players over there in Boston, and on top of that, the team is up for sales. So it's some people are saying, well, why would you want to sell now when you just won the championship? But hey, you know what? When it's hot, that's the best time to sell. And you can get. I think the projections are $5 to $6 billion. I don't know about you, but if I'm getting me $5 to $6 billion, I mean, I don't care if I win the championship. I'm getting me $5 to $6 billion. Those of you who want to, take the team and keep going, do your thing. But I mean, because you think about it, you got two $300 million players, and then you're trying to sell the team. What's up, Daniel? Thanks for tapping in, bro. I really. There goes my brother from another NYG. What's good, bro? Thanks for tapping in. I'm gonna shoot you the link in a little bit. If you have the time, just let me know, and I'll shoot you the link, and you can join in. So, but I mean that's crazy when you think about what's going on with Boston. But again, like I said, you strike while it's hot. And look, you got two $300 million players. You just signed White for I believe it was 130 mil. I mean, you're signing players left and right in Boston. You just won the championship, so I understand the logic in terms of trying to sell the team in that regard. Some people may not like it, but hey, now's the best time to do it. And if you look at the way money is being spent in the NBA, I mean, it's starting to get crazy, and at first I was like, well, and I'm going to get into it in a little bit about the new CBA, but I'm looking at teams spending money in players, like Hartenstein, 3 years, $183 million. I mean, he's I get it. He's good. He did what he did. He did his thing, and I appreciate him with Nick. But in the real spectrum, I mean, he's an 8-point per game player, probably 8 to 9 rebounds per game, and he's getting 83, almost $100 million. That's just telling you the market in terms of the NBA overall, the money that's being spent. And small market teams don't have free agent signings like this. Yeah, true. When you have a good team, this is what happens. Yeah, no, you're right. But again, the contracts are crazy, man. I mean, I'm sitting here looking, and that's why I'm like, because as a Knicks fan, we're dealing with the first tier of the cap, and I'm looking at other teams spending like crazy, and it's like, well, I mean, now the Knicks did their spending, so I'm not. Please don't think I'm having a pity party. Woe is the Knicks because we lost Hartenstein. No, we did our thing. I mean, we spent on OG $212 million. Made the trade for Bridges, so there's money being spent on the Knicks end. But if you look at the whole spectrum of the league, you put that CBA in because it's supposed to curtail some of the spending. Maybe it will with some teams, but from what I'm seeing, some teams, yes, they might say, like the Clippers, no, we don't want to pay that kind of money, and Golden State through to Klay Thompson. But in the same token, these guys are still making money somewhere else. So it's the NBA is flush with money. Sports overall is flush with money. We as fans, we contribute to it. We really, but the money is there. So I'm not mad at players for getting the money, but it's being spent like crazy right now, man. I didn't think it was going to be like this, man. And one of the targets, I think the center um, from Orlando, he was one that the Knicks were targeting, and I think he re-signed, and I think he got $30 million. Let me just double check that. But still, I mean, you got players who you never would have thought they would have gotten $30 million, $50 million, and signing up, the way that they're doing. So, like I said, you got Tatum $314 million, along with Brown already over 300 million. You have White signing for 100 million plus. It's crazy. It's crazy, when I sit down and I look at that. So, Thunderman Hartenstein to start free agency. Yeah, are cool. But let's be real. Let's be perfectly honest, man. If the Knicks could have matched that, you're not getting him. That's the truth. That's the fact. He did want to stay with New York, but New York, we can only offer 4 years at 72.5 mil. So you guys, you're offering him 29 mil a season. So I can't be mad at him for taking that money. That's generational wealth. But in the same token, man, it's if the Knicks could have had his full bird rights, he would still be with New York, and that's the truth. That's not sugarcoating it. That's the reality. You only had New York only had a partial, so you can only offer him so much. That's the rules of the game. Congratulations to you guys, but let's yeah, you met him in Oregon, but you also knew what the Knicks could offer. So it's like poker. If you know what's in the other man's hand, you know how to play him. So I think this what happened to the Thunder raised their offer overnight. You could raise it, but again, if you know the Knicks can only offer 72 and a half, you could raise it by $500,000. You could raise it by $1 million. The Knicks can't meet that. That's the whole thing. So, and it left New York in a quandary, So, But hey, kudos to you. Congratulations today to Hartenstein. I mean, look, man, I'm not mad at another man for taking his money. I don't care what sport you in. Yo, go get your money. I don't care what team you go to, even if it's a team that plays against mine, man. I'm going to hate it, but I'm not mad at you. Because if I was in that position, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, I love Jersey. I love the tri-state area, but you pay me something like that, see ya. I mean, that's the truth. And anyone of y'all who says, nah, you couldn't do it, you're going to stay with your team, you're lying to yourself, man. You ain't lying to me. You lying to yourself. But, but again, that's the money. I play poker a ton of times. Yeah, but you ain't always know what's in the other man's hand, Arku. Come on, be real, bro. Be real. You don't know what's in the other man's hand, because if you do, then you know how to play that man. You know how to bluff him, or you know how to raise the antes up, whatever the case may be. But I got you. Yeah, man. But the money in the NBA right now, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and it leaves me wondering, how does the new CBA, how does it have an impact on the long term spending with teams, man? I mean, because you exactly, NYG, show me the money. I'll do a head spin as best I can. I'll get people to grab my legs, hold me, and spin me around. If you won't pay me, $83 million, $100+ million, $300+ million, yo, bro, what you want me to do? You want me to take my toothbrush and go, scrub the bathroom floors? I'm sorry. You call me whatever you want for that kind of money? Shoot. Exactly. Show me the money, and I'll scream it from the loudest mountaintop. But with the new CBA, with the 3 levels that they have, like New York is up against it, which is why they couldn't get Hartenstein, to be brutally honest. One is the amount of money that they could have offered Hartenstein, and then the other one is being close to the first cap. I think it's at 178 mil. So they're already there. So being a Hartenstein, you had the early bird rights, which allowed you to go really, now that they lose him, it's not like they can take that money and go and use it on someone else. They only had a certain amount that they could use, in reference to yeah, what's up? Clap, clap, smack, smack, jelly cakes, baby. Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. But in terms of the CBA, I wonder in the long run how it's going to impact teams. Right now everyone is trying to feel it out. The Knicks, hey, we got caught with our pants down in terms of the first level. Other teams are making their moves and doing whatever they can. So, Rafael Capitan Rafael El Fucho. What's up, brother? Thanks for tapping in, man. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone for tapping in. Luca, what's up, brother? Thanks for tapping in. I'm going to throw the link in the chat in a little bit, so you guys can tap in. And if you guys weren't here in the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and replay my little intro that I created today. So you guys can tell me what you think. Before I really go any further, the routine for everyone. If you're new to the channel, or everyone, make sure you hit the like. Right now, I'm at about 13 watching. So make sure if you're on YouTube, you hit that like button. If you're not already subscribe and hit the notification so you know when I post new content. And always, always, always share on all social media platforms. Let's get it out into the algorithm. Let's continue to grow this channel and make it one of the best that's out there. And I appreciate all your support and everything that you guys do for me. So thanks a lot, man. But what's your thoughts on the new CBA? Are you familiar with it? Are you vaguely familiar with it? I mean, I have a certain level of understanding in terms of it and how it's being played. Of course, like I said, as a Knicks fan, you can look at it like we got caught with our pants down because of everything that we had to do. Some will say we overspent. You know what? It's a fair argument. You could say that we overspent in terms of, OG, but you had to. You had to because you gave up two young, talented players and draft picks, and then and getting Bridges, everything that you're doing, you have to overspend, especially if you feel you're in a position to compete at a high level. And the Knicks, for whatever you feel, they are in that position. Maybe they're not at the top just as yet. Things could bounce their way, but they are there. The CBA are forcing teams to think different. Yeah, when it comes to roster constructions, teams won't be star chasing as much and will focus on retaining their own talent. And you know what, NYG, that's an excellent point. Yes, teams are going to be focused on their own, number one, and it's going to give you more development. So, if you're in a position to draft young talent, you can at least maybe you can get them into their second contract and then really build your program the right way. I know with the Nets, that's what you guys are focused on. You have your direction now in terms of a rebuild, get young talent in here, develop the young talent, because that's the most important thing. Talent development is paramount to all these organizations. You can get if you can get the talent and you can't develop them, then yeah, these guys are going to leave as soon as they can, no matter what. But if you can develop them into good NBA players, elite NBA players, it'll help your program in the long run. But the CBA will force you to think differently. I truly agree with that, man. And as a Knicks fan, like I said, we saw it, and the rest of the league may be watching, sitting down, taking notes. Look what happened in New York. This is how we need to play it. Look at how OKC they did it. With a lot of young talent, you get that one guy in here before you have to really start paying those other guys. And you know what? Your team can develop and grow. And then who knows? Maybe in 2 years, Hartenstein's contract is not going to be that big. I forgot who said it. Someone said it. They said, Hartenstein contract, actually, if you really sit down and think about it and compare it, Daniel Jones's contract, yes, I know I'm bringing football into this conversation, but Daniel Jones's contract is much better than what you get with Hartenstein based on talent. That was his whole argument, because Hartenstein is not as talented in comparison to Daniel Jones in the spectrum of the league. And I agree with that. That exactly, Coach. That's why the Nets hired Fernandez. Yeah, Exactly. You're developing you're developing your culture, and you're going to build from there, and you're going to add on to it. Yes, it may be about Cam Thomas right now, and Nick Claxton, but they're all young. So, and that's the thing. And then you bring a veteran guy in like this, and you allow him to be there to help the team grow. It also teaches them how to be professionals. That is also an important thing. A lot of young kids coming in, some of them 18, 19, 20 years old. They don't know how to be professionals. So you need a veteran who's been around for some time to show them. OKC is one of those teams that is young. Now they've been doing everything right. So, kudos to their management staff, the coaching staff, the culture that they build there. But you having a Hartenstein in there will help them develop, because he's been there. He's worked his way up, coming from as a second round draft pick to where he is to capitalize there. So, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely an interesting um, dynamic with OKC. So, the other big news, of course, is going to be Philadelphia. I mean, I touched on Boston, New York a little bit, OKC, but Philadelphia. Hey, they got the big fish in some people, some fans' eyes. Now there are some Philly fans that I've talked to that they don't like it. Paying a 34-year-old that kind of money is questionable, especially with his injury history. So I get it. If he's healthy, if Joel Embiid is healthy with Maxi there, they could be a sneaky good team. Are they on the level of Boston? We don't know it yet. We don't know. Is anyone in this league on that level as of yet? Even my Knicks, that can be left up to debate. But it's interesting. But Philly, they finally got their big fish. That's what they've been looking for. I like it because of the competition. New York, Boston, and Philly. Right now in the East, and if you want to throw in Milwaukee, right now those are the big four in terms of the East in the NBA. You're going to be watching. All eyes are pretty much saying it's going to be Boston again, and if God, without any serious injuries, if Porzingis can come back and contribute, yeah, they have a good squad. They definitely do. They're resigning their veterans. So they brought Cornette back. So yes, they're in a good position, for the immediate future, for the current day, and then maybe for the future. But you know, are they still that far advanced over everyone else, or have the others stepped up? So what do you guys think? So let me know in the chat. So, but before we go any further, today's show, I'm going to give a shout out to my supporters, sponsors. Today's show is sponsored by Go Travel, so definitely go ahead and check them out. I'm going to play a little commercial I made for Go Travels a little over a year ago. So just my ugly mug talking, but I want to show them respect. So here you go.
Go Travels, helping people get out and explore the world. For travel plans, Go Travels will help you to experience new adventures anywhere. We specialize in travels throughout North, Central, and South Americas, but we can help you find those special places anywhere in the world. Retake, retake, retake.
Okay, that was the wrong one. Sorry about that. Thought that was the correct one. I have to delete that video. Sorry about that. But Go Travels, definitely with my man NYG. They definitely will help you. Make sure you reach out to him. Hit NYG up, whether you're on Twitter or on his YouTube page, which Popular Opinion Sports. Definitely check him out. Let him help you. Doesn't matter if it's travel for vacation, you want to go to concerts, you want to do sporting events. I mean, he's already himself has traveled to a lot of sporting events, going to the draft. he will definitely help you, and he will get you at an affordable price. So trust me when I tell you, I'm not going to sit here and speak and show support like this if I don't strongly believe in what he has to offer. So make sure you reach out to him. NYG, make sure you throw your info in the chat, man. So, everyone can definitely get in contact with you. So, but again, today's episode is sponsored by Go Travel. So, and I'm sorry about that little mix up there. I'm going to get the right commercial. So, I'll also be throwing other commercials in here from other sponsors, because, they've been great to me, and I'm definitely going to be showing my support to them. So, but also anyone who's looking to jump on, throwing the link in the chat. So make sure you go ahead and tap in, join in, and let's continue this talk with the NBA. But, we talked a little bit about the long-term spending in terms of the CBA. So it's going to be interesting going forward. I'm really going to be interested, especially as a Knicks fan. What can we do? Can we at least get to that second hard cap? Do we have to trade out any other players? Is the Mikal Bridges deal finished? Because that's another factor that goes into this. So, but again, I'm going to be watching. I know the rest of the league is going to be watching. So, but I wanted to ask you guys, who do you guys feel are the winners or losers so far in NBA free agency? Not the draft, free agency. So if it's a trade or it's a player signing, who do you think, are the winners and the losers? So, of course, to me, one of the biggest winners, Boston. I can't lie to you. I mean, to secure your top players and not lose them and bring them back, that's a win right there, especially after you just won the championship. I mean, one of the losers in my eyes is the Denver Nuggets. I mean, last year losing Brown, and now this year Caldwell Pope. I mean, you're not securing, the players that are needed to help you win the championship. It's not always about your superstars, and that's a misconception that everyone tries to think it's always about the superstars. They're key components, but you need those other guys around you. In Boston, that's a win right there for them. Say what you want about Philly, getting in older players, but Philly is a winner right now. They got that key third piece that can come in and help scoring. Now, the question is always going to be about his health. But when he's healthy and he's on the court, you cannot deny his play. Same thing with Embiid, and now Maxey is developing. And those three right there, I mean, that's going to be interesting, as we go forward. So, Coach, how are we feeling, man? I'm feeling good, bro. I mean, I appreciate the support, and being here. Is it official? I saw that they were wanting to. Let me double check. This article. They're going to agree to Derek White. Tiner's on fire. It just says he's up for sale. Yeah, I'm looking at an article on ESPN by Tim Bontemps. He posted this 6 hours ago. They're planning to sell it. They didn't say it's official, so I haven't heard anything official as of yet. So if anybody else, I mean, RQ, you said they sold it. So if you have the actual information, let me know so I can read it. But everything that I'm reading is that they're considering selling it. It's not official. So I come from I don't think we can beat your Knicks. You know what, Nick? That's up to debate. That really is. I mean, right now, let's be honest, okay? In terms of the Knicks, from the center position alone, and it's not just in terms of Embiid. Don't forget re-sign, or bringing Drummond back. That's a big factor. The Knicks don't have the size. Now, if you can foul out Mitchell Robinson, or please don't let this happen, but he gets hurt. I mean, he usually plays about 2/3 of the season, but if he gets hurt, who do we have as a backup center? At the present moment, Jericho Sims. That's our backup center. So Embiid and Drummond, or Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims. That's a win right there. Now if you want to, sit down and talk about Paul George in terms of wings, yeah, we have youth while you have better experience. But when you start and you look at all the pieces, I mean, bringing in Eric Gordon, I don't want to sit here and remember last year it was a tough series alone. Yes, the Knicks were missing pieces, and Bede was not 100% also. So both teams are right there. Bringing in Bridges can definitely help. I'm not going to sit here and act like it can't. But we're also worrying about injuries in terms of the Knicks too. OG Anunoby. I mean, right there alone, that says a lot. If he's on the court, he definitely helps. But to compare the two teams, I mean, Knicks got way too much depth off the bench. Sixers need more than. I mean, you also brought back what's his name, who started for you guys last year, Aubrey. You brought him back. I don't think you guys are done now. To say that we're that much better or make it seem like we're that much better. To me, the teams are pretty much even in that regard. And if we played in a 7-game series, I think it would go 7 games, and it may come down to who has the home court advantage. So both teams, are in the same position, and we're both looking up. We're both looking up at Boston. Let's be real, and we don't even know what Milwaukee is going to do. Now you can say what you want about Milwaukee, but Dame and Giannis, as far as the Knicks, we don't have any two that can meet that. You can tell me Julius Randle and you can tell me Brunson, and they're good. Yes, they are good. But are they that elite? Then you have Middleton. Can Middleton come back healthy? I mean, is Milwaukee going to be able to add anything? So it's right now. That's why I said it's the top 4, and Boston is above the other 3. That there's no denying. Right now they are the favorite to repeat as NBA champions. I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not. But the other 3, yes, it could go either way. But to me, they're all on the same plane in terms of where they are. OG, Deuce, McBride, Dante DiVincenzo, and Miles better than Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry. Okay, I mean, OG is a starter, so I'm not going to look at him as a bench player. I think you're talking about Josh Hart. Okay, but again, like I said, you have Drummond there, you have Aubrey. That's why I'm saying you can't just sit here and I'm a Knicks fan saying to come to fruition and be true. So, you know, and right now that's something that I've been harping on. That's why I wanted everyone back. But again, you don't know. Hartenstein left. Could we have competed? Who knows? What's up, Butterfly? Thanks for tapping in. I really appreciate you. But again, this is a plane where both of us, I think we're on the same plateau. And that's just where it is. And Boston is just that much better than everyone right now, barring any serious injury. So, but hey, I hope the Knicks are better than Philly. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I want my Knicks to be better than Philly. But if I'm going to be fair, I think they're all on the same plane. Milwaukee, depending on what they do with their bench, they could be that much better. Thanks, Butterfly. That's it. Yeah, one more like to get to 10. And make sure you guys have subscribed, notify, and share. You know the routine. You know how we get down. So appreciate everyone. And Butterfly, you're one of my biggest supporters. Nothing but love and respect to you. Appreciate you. Hey, and your Mavericks. Congrats to you guys, man. You can say what you want about getting Klay Thompson. He's old, whatever the case may be. But what was one of their biggest issues last year? They didn't have that 3-point shooting to help out Kyrie and Luka. Now they do, and you can say what you want. That helps them out immensely. And on top of that, it hurts Golden State. But thank you, I appreciate that. So, but again, that hurts. That hurts them, in that regard. So, what's up, Halftime, my brother? Thanks for tapping in, man. I really appreciate you. Make sure y'all go to check out my boy Halftime. And again, subscribe to Philly Halftime. Does some great content for Philly. whether it's the Phillies in baseball, football, basketball, hockey, he definitely knows his stuff. Same thing with my boy NYG, also known as Unpopular Opinion Sports. He brings it to you, so it's good stuff. So, Nikki, thanks for being here, bro. Really appreciate you. One of my compadres with the Pick and Roll podcast does some great work with Philly's work. So, definitely check out Nikki Stees. So I really appreciate that. I'm a Spurs fan first, but I will always back the NBA teams in Texas. Well, your Spurs, hey, say what you want about getting Chris Paul. That's a sneaky good move because he's the veteran and he's going to help them, in the long run. Tommy, thanks for being here, brother. I really appreciate you, man. So thanks for everyone for tapping in. Make sure everyone hits the like button. So, Coach, when's your next stream with the GO himself, Philly Halftime? We do our show, the halftime coaching adjustment, every Saturday at 2 p.m. So that's when we're going to be on, he and I, on Saturday at 2. So looking forward to that. Hey, I'm looking forward to just being back. It's just good to be back. For those of you who don't know, I was down and out. And to be honest with you, I was in the hospital for a little bit. So, but I'm glad to be out. I'm working hard. Hey, got my physical therapy. I'm actually down 20 pounds so far. And I'm pushing myself to continue to get down. Maybe I can get down to my college playing weight and get skinny like that at about 285, 275 pounds, somewhere around there. Yeah, I said get skinny at that weight. So, but hey, right now I'm close to 350. So, I'm down. So I'm happy about that. So, hey, I'm hearing so many different stories about Lauri Markkanen, Arku. I've heard that, even the Lakers are trying to get him. So thank you, Butterfly. I appreciate you. So Philly healthy goes to the Eastern Finals. Easily Clay will help with the Mavs put up more points, possibly get back to the Western Finals. Victor will get all the ops all year with Paul Hartenstein, OKC. Yeah, we talked about Hartenstein. And as a Knicks fan, it hurts, but hey, I understand the business. I'm not mad at that man for getting his money because, like NYG and I both said, we have the opportunity. Show us the money, man. We out, and I love Jersey. Anybody knows me knows I love Jersey. So Al Hoops. All year long. Yeah, and Chris Paul is skinny as in. When you've been a big, sexy, fat guy all your life, man, it's kind of hard to go that route. But no, it's healthier for me, and that's what's most important. Excuse me, especially with my grandbaby. That's my heart. I want to make sure I'm here as long for her and watch her grow. So, excuse me. But let's get back to the winners and losers in the NBA. So, Coach, you're the man, not the GOAT at halftime, but you're almost at. Hey, thank you, man. It's just an honor to be in his aura, man. But we touched on some of the winners, but I touched on one loser with Denver. I definitely think losing key players like that is big. Hey, let's be honest. And they're probably my second favorite team because that's who I started out in terms of basketball. But I'm not liking what I'm seeing with the Lakers, man. Both LA teams for that matter. But for the Lakers, man, you can say what you want. LeBron originally saying he's going to take less money, but nobody's coming there. You're bringing in JJ Redick. To me, it's not a good look right now. So to me, they're definitely a loser in terms of the free agency. I think the Knicks did better keeping Hartenstein and getting more players instead of just Bridges. But he isn't the star everyone thinks he is. But Bridges will be asked to do less. And no, I agree with that. We didn't keep Hartenstein though. He went to OKC, so we would have been better, but. It definitely hurts. So Lakers are getting out. Yeah, it's crazy out there. And then with the old Bronny and some say the fix is in. my brother halftime, but I get it. I understand the prestige, but this is a business, and I think the Sixers are not as strong as the Knicks right now. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Again, as I said halftime, I think both teams are on the same par. The Knicks, we have injury concerns, with OG and the starting lineup. Heck, you even Julius Randle. Julius has been out the past 3 years, including playoffs, and then Brunson with the wear and tear on his body. So I mean, you can make arguments for both teams. If the Knicks didn't get hurt, they would have won the chip. I want to believe that. I love that thought, but I don't know. I can only dream. But what do they say? A pipe in a dream, a dollar in a dream. Well, Lakers will add key players to the bench. Is not landing DeMar. Now, if they were to get DeMar DeRozan, maybe that would change my thoughts a little bit. But are they able to compete for the championship out west? And right now, it's too loaded. Minnesota, Dallas. What they're doing. OKC. Don't forget Memphis. Memphis is getting John Morant back for a full season. As long as he's not hurt and his mind is right, he's one of the elite talents there. So we can't just sleep on Memphis either. There's someone who's going to be tough. Now the two LA teams, there's an argument. Some may argue in terms of Phoenix. I don't know. But I mean they do have elite talent. So the point being, the West is tough. So Clay did not want to deal with all the Bron drama. I get it. How do we feel about Golden State? Are they a winner or a loser? Right now, I just have to be honest. I have to say they're a winner. You're losing Clay. And then what are you doing? What are you adding to that team? Clay wanted no state taxes or all the Hey, you know what? That's a good point. Texas doesn't have the state taxes, and California is one of the highest ones in the country. So, I mean, it does make that's extra money. That's millions of dollars in your pocket. But he does not look happy as a Laker. Exactly. So, happy to see you're doing well, Coach. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Nick. Thanks for the support. So, again, with what's going on, those are some of the losers in the East. I'm curious about Washington because right now it leaves me scratching my head. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to compete? Or are you trying to, because my man NYG always talked about the Nets. He's like, you're either trying to win or you're trying to rebuild. What are you trying to do? Pick a direction and just stick to it. And they finally did it. Same thing with Washington. It leaves me, kind of confused. Wait a minute. Sorry. Tommy, Clay didn't choose Mavs because of offense game. I tell you that, but he will definitely knock the threes down. No, exactly. And having Kyrie and Luka there, that can help his game. And he's not going to be asked to do a lot defensively. That's the biggest thing. So what do you think about Boston wants to sell the team after? Look, Philly, halftime, I'm going to say this. I said it earlier. I understand the business side of it. You strike while it's hot. You're talking about $5 to $6 billion, bro. You tell me you're going to turn down $5 to $6 billion when it's hot right now, and you just won the championship. I can't. I can't. So, if you can make that sell, do what you got to do. Even now, here's the other thing. He's trying to sell the majority. It doesn't mean he might not be a minority owner. So, but in that regard, I mean, if you're talking about $5 billion, you selling the majority, bro. Anybody who wants to keep the team and keep going, hey, more power to you. Do your thing. But my fat butt, I'm gonna sell, and I'm gonna have my home here in Jersey. But I'm gonna find me a little remote island out in the Pacific. I mean, out in the eastern part of the country, down in the Tongan Islands or wherever. I'm gonna find me a little spot, get me a little cabana, find me a nice little sexy cabana girl to bring me some coconuts and juice, and I'm just gonna sit my fat butt $5 billion, $6 billion, bro. I'm out. I'm out. Is Clay to the Mavs a good move? It's an interesting move, Nikki. For me, I understand the logic, and it can help prolong his career. But and he's not going to be asked to do. Sorry. He's not going to be asked to do a lot defensively. Remember, with Golden State, he was that lead wing defender. He don't have to do that with Dallas, to be honest with you. They'll also give him his main focus is let Luka and Kyrie attack the paint, get paint touches, and then find an open spot and hit the open three. So it could be a good move. To be honest with you, every move, free agent, trade, whatever, even draft, every last one of them, other than Boston, is a wait and see. And I'm talking about even my Knicks. Every move is a wait and see. We can talk about Philly, and we're talking about projections, we're talking about papers, but everything is a wait and see. With my Knicks, I am taking a wait and see approach. I really am. Before I'm totally Google Gaga and Knicks tape and all that other stuff. NYG knows what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, definitely everyone. Thanks for helping me out. Let's get me up to 15. We're already over 10, so Nikki, a smart move. So time will tell. Paul to Sixers was a power move. No, it definitely was a power move. Especially if he's healthy. They're going to compete, and that's what I'm saying. Aubrey, bringing in Gordon. Don't forget Drummond. Nick was telling me about he feels that the Knicks are better than Philly. So I say they're both on the same par, though. What do you think of who? I like their second round draft pick. I really do. Because, once I sat down and I really looked at him, but the biggest factor, in terms of his talent, he's talented. But the biggest factor, which no one talks about, he played in the same conference with the national champions in terms of Connecticut. The Big East is a tough conference to play basketball in. It really is. So he's well tested. He's an older guy. So, yes, he's going to need some development, but it's not like you're taking a 19-year-old kid and really trying to invest in him. He's there. He's already there. So I like the move, but it's going to take some time, and he's a good backup. It also allows you to put Deuce over to the swing position, to the off guard position, but he can still be that defensive player. He doesn't have to control the offense, in that regard, because there were times when Deuce was controlling, the offense got a little stagnant. This kid, it's not going to happen. Plus, literally, he's just a white version of Brunson, man. Lefty, gritty, tough. I really like them. So, now that's up to debate, Tommy, because don't forget PG right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Their top two, sorry, is better than the Knicks top two. I'm a Knicks fan, and I've come around to Randall, and YG will tell you. And Randall's a 3-level player, and he brings something different than Paul George. But Paul George, one thing that he has that Randall does not, he's an elite defender. Randall's good, but he's not an elite defender. He can shut down the 1, 2, 3, and 4 in terms of players. So, but Coach, if they made a Broadway musical of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you should. Yo, Nick, that's a good one, man. That's a good one, man. I like that. I'll take it. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Not an actor, but my middle daughter is, but she could teach me, man. I'll do that, man. Uncle Phil, I love me some Uncle Phil, man. Back in the day, man. Even with his big, sexy body dancing. Yeah, man. They Knicks, no one in the NBA has answers for Embiid, though. That dude, when healthy, only stops himself. The only one I honestly, Tommy, see that can give him a go, but it would be more on the offensive end, is Joker. Joker is just as good as him, in terms of play. Is just, he's not as athletic as Embiid, but, he can go. OG shuts PG down. Embiid is a factor. OG is an elite defender, yes. So, Yeah. No, I watch it from time to time, man. I love a lot of my old reruns. So I mean, I can't lie to you. Fresh Prince. I mean, my all time fave. I'm not gonna lie to you. Those who know me know it's a different world. I'll watch it on rerun. I can know it, man, time and time again. Got my favorite episodes like down pat. I remember the love of my life when we would sit and watch it. Even if she was upstairs doing something with the kids, cooking, cleaning, and I was downstairs just coming home from work, man, she would yell down, "Did you see that? Did you see?" Yeah, I'm watching it too, babe. I'm watching it too. We're screaming. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'll even go back to Sanford and Son, Good Time, man. I'm old school, man. I'm old school. Oh, Embiid, own Joker, and the little that they have played. Okay. GB with his no, he has to be consistent. Butterfly, I agree, and the injuries are going to be a big factor with him. So, but before we continue on, just for those of you, and I said I would do it a little bit earlier. I'm going to go ahead and play my new intro outro that I created, and you guys let me know what you think. So. And this one is right on point. It's not a messed up commercial, like I messed up on earlier with Go Travel. So, but let me know what you think. So, here we go.
Yo, it's Coach Ed. Got the insights, no boats. From the rookies in the youth leagues to the seasoned pros, ladies balling, fellas fighting all around the globe. Breaking it down, dynamic. Tune in, listen up. Don't wanna miss the flow. It's Coach Ed Reed and Attack the Sports Show. From the courts to the fields, he's got the stats. Dropping knowledge is where the real fans at. So stand up, get ready for the play. Wave your arms in the air, let's hear you say. Coach Ed, our mentor on the mic. Breaking down the game, every highlight. Analyzing plays, court the turf the like. Youth leagues, college dreams, pro spotlight. Tackling the flats, defense or attack. He's got the vision, shows you where it's at. We grab the scoop, no stone left unturned. In Coach Ed's realm, the knowledge earned.
All right, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So, but that was something that I've been working on, and you know, I think it still needs a little work, but let me know what you guys think. So PJ won't be asked to do nowhere near as much as he did. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't think PG deserves the max, but that's the whole thing. It's a special someone. So no, she's not. Someone I'm messing with. So, but something that we've been working on. So and I'll let it be known. So yeah, she's definitely, and it's more that I'm trying to work on in terms of my whole station, my whole program, and bring in something a little old school because I am old school. I like old school hip hop, So, but thanks everyone. I appreciate you guys. So tried to work on the graphics. That's not my area of expertise. So, but I'm trying. So, but and I'm glad you guys like it. So, it's just something that will continue. And you know what? I'm going to keep kind of trying to change and grow even more so. So, but, again, we were talking about specific winners and losers, but who do you guys think are the front runners for the championship overall? Talked about it a little bit earlier. Me, it's definitely Boston, especially in the East. It's Boston. If I go out West, if I'm looking at the landscape, um, interchange. Thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate you, man. So, um, I'm not building an empire. I'm just trying to be more interactive with my channel and get better. So that's always the name of the game. Let's be real. It's about being better and bringing you guys good programming. Plus, you guys help, man. This interaction is a great thing. So I really appreciate everyone being here and contributing to this because I can't do this without you guys, no matter what. Otherwise, I'd be just a big, sexy, fat guy sitting on here talking to myself. So, but But again, it's every one of us contributing to making this what it is. So I'm also going to throw the link in the chat. So if you guys want to jump on, definitely we got plenty of time to sit back and talk. But getting back to the front runners, right now in the East, it's the Celtics. If you want to talk about Philly, New York, and Milwaukee, that's fine. One that I think is going to be sneaky, and I've been talking about them all year, is Orlando. Don't sleep on Orlando. They're still young. They're still developing. Banchero, man, that kid is definitely growing to be something special down there. And then getting Caldwell Pope down there, man, that's a good one. I mean, you also have Wagner. So I mean, they have talent down there. So Celtics are being set back once a healthy Embiid, Randall, Greek, Jimmy gets his way. His way was easily a Celtics stone year. I don't know, Tommy. I mean, now Miami, but you want to talk about Philly, New York, and Milwaukee. Miami still has work to do down here. Even with now Jimmy Buckets, he is elite. I'm not sleeping on his talent, man. That guy can lead a team, but can they win the championship? So that's what this is about. So put your Discord link, Coach Ed, Amazing World of Sports. I'm still learning how to do that, Butterfly. Because I'm using my computer, I'm not using my phone. That's where I use my Discord, but I'm still trying to work on learning how to do that. I'm still an old guy working on technology. So, but once I get it going, yes, I do have a Discord. Like I said, I'm trying to build my whole network and, tap on everything and bring more programming, different programming. So, whether it's interviews, I'm getting back into interviews and, hopefully down the line, I'm getting back into journalism because I was a sports reporter. That's what most of you don't know. I used to write articles from my boy back in the day. I used to interview players and write up the actual articles and post it online. So Magic are like the OKC putting together a young roster. Yes, you're right. Does Mitch work you two full time now because he runs I don't know as far as his work, but the hardcore is his baby. So when it's your baby, Nikki, thank you, brother, for tapping in. Definitely going to be checking out some of your work, and I'll see you on Wednesday, man. So nothing but much love and respect, man. So, but as far as the in the East, Boston is the front runner. Out west, if you want to say OKC, Minnesota, definitely have to respect Minnesota. I want to see what Memphis is going to do. Denver, are they taking a step back? I don't know right now. So, but okay, there go my boy Leaf. What's up, brother? Thanks for tapping in. I really appreciate you, man. How you doing today?
Coach, I'm doing good. This free agency, this free agency got ripped off like a band-aid, didn't
Yeah,
it?
man.
Like for real,
This
for real.
is
This,
is
this is uh this is one of the fastest free agencies that I ever seen, and everybody basically, I love the fact that everybody in free agency, but basically gave LeBron James the finger and said, "F you, man, we ain't coming to play with your circus over there in LA." And I wanted to dig on first thing about the PG deal because that
mm-hmm,
represents the East.
mm-hmm,
Um, I'm not in love with it at all. First and foremost, PG ain't worth no 212 mil at the age of 34 for 4 years. That's number one. Number two is that if anything, this bet not get in the way of what Maxey is doing because what Maxey did this past year and his growth, man, and continuing to grow as a star in this league is nothing short of phenomenal. And I don't think PG complements that. This is one of the reasons why I wanted them to get Klay Thompson instead of PG, because Klay Thompson could play can play up and down with a point guard still, because he's going to
mm-hmm,
spot up and shoot. PG, he wants the ball. He's going to dribble it to sleep. He's going to ISO. He's going to hold it. Then this, that, and the third. You already got somebody that's a half court player in Joel, and now you basically, added PG to that, but basically before you finished off the rest of your roster. I think personally, they did sign Kelly Oubre back, so I guess
mm-hmm.
we'll see how it works. Nick Nurse, he got a whole lot to work with over there, man, to figuring out how it works over there. Now let's get to the good old tangerines.
Oh my gosh,
Some
here you go with the BS, man.
let's get to the good old Tangerines. Somehow, some way, there was a loophole in the CBA that only allowed them to offer Hartenstein, what was it, $72 million for 3 years, and here come
4
OKC.
years. 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years. And here come OKC, scoop right up in there, right from underneath the carpet, and said, "Here, man, here go 3 years, $87 million." And good old Hartenstein did the right thing, and he went over to OKC. It's another blue and orange team, but it's not the one that I'm annoyed with. I think OKC, man, they put themselves in quite a driver's seat. Snatching up Caruso the way that they did the second that the season was over, and adding some a guy that could that's gonna help out on the boards. You can move him to the 5 and move Chet to the 4. To me, I listen. Call me crazy, but OKC, man, like, listen, this might be their biggest free agent signings probably since Carmelo. Since they got Carmelo out, maybe out of a trade. I don't even remember them signing Carmelo, but they got Melo out of a trade. They got PG out of a trade. They got CP3 out of a trade. OKC, man, this is probably, they well known for drafting talent out of the draft. They got rid of Giddey and they replaced them with Nikola Topic. And basically redshirting him for a year, man. We're gonna have to see how that works because he was listed to go top 3. He messed around and went 12. OKC, man, they put themselves in a hell of a driver's seat. One hell of a driver's seat. The next team on my list is obviously the biggest deal, which is Dallas getting Klay Thompson. And I'll be honest with you, man. Obviously, this is not Klay Thompson from 2016. Obviously. But the sacrifices that he made for that Golden State franchise to become the dynasty that they eventually became is nothing short. It's nothing short of honorable to me. I know Klay Thompson was the only person on that team that I actually liked. But now that the Splash Brothers have officially come to an end, I think Klay Thompson has put himself in a position where he can now, be strictly the rest of his career finishing off as an elite shooter that he's always been. You pair him with Kyrie, you pair him with Luka. To me, to me it's simple, man. I personally think Dallas is. I don't even think Dallas is finished. I was looking to see who was going to sign Buddy Hield and who was going to sign Russ, because if Dallas ended up signing them, then that bench, to me, bro, like that's what they needed. They needed a little bit more shooting. They didn't have no floor spaces. I was sick and tired of Derrick Jones spotting up in the corner like he was a 3-point shooter when everybody knew that he was not. You know what I'm saying? And Boston was, and that's how Boston eventually was cool with. They was like, all right, go ahead, let him shoot. I dare you to leave Klay Thompson open for for 99 times in a game. I double dare you. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dallas, they went for the gusto. Derrick Jones Jr., he ended up signing with the Clippers, and they went for the gusto with that. The Clippers is if they don't blow it up like we did, man, they gonna learn the hard way. I ain't gonna lie to you. Minnesota, I think they still in the they still got a good driver's seat. Obviously the winners of the draft since the last time we spoke was the Memphis Grizzlies. Zach Edey is the best player in this draft, and I don't care what nobody say. I'll be honest with you. And you basically got rid of Steven Adams and replaced him with Zach Edey. Now it's back to it almost looked like grit and grind era with Zebo in them, but you put him in Zebo camp, you basically got the center man for the next 10 years to me, in my personal opinion. And now they got Marcus Smart, they got Bane coming back, they got all these dudes coming back with Ja Morant. To me, I don't see no reason why Memphis can't be back where they were, because the Western Conference, the old lineage of the Western Conference is on their way out. LeBron is not a threat anymore. The Golden State Warriors is not a threat anymore. The Kevin Durant is no longer a threat anymore. It's a whole new regime in the Western Conference, and OKC may be at the forefront of it, man, for some time.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. I mean, you definitely spit some good facts out there. Some I'm going to debate, but before I do that, Tommy, my brother, man, thanks for tapping in, man. How you doing, man?
Everything good. Like happy Father's Day for everyone. Like happy
Hmm.
testosterone month all year long, Cuz. Happy heterosexual year, especially in June. But I agree with a lot he said. The Timberwolves, they killed it in the draft. They got a
Hmm.
nice killer guard to go with Ant Man. Then OKC, they got one of y'all's players from the Knicks. They're a
Hmm.
young team already. He say LeBron done, man. It's hard to say LeBron done 40, dropping 30 and 10 on people every night. But for the most part, though, the NBA, the East has got a lot better. Paul
Hmm.
George going to the East, that's going to be a problem. It just needs to be a healthy Embiid. A healthy Embiid will definitely change the outcome of an Eastern Finals. But with what the Nets did, they finally pressing the rebuild button. That's a good thing. They should have pressed it probably like a year or two ago, but they finally pressed it. The Knicks, they're trying to get Randall healthy and everyone together. They got a nice little squad already. If Randall would have been healthy, I believe the Knicks would have took the Celtics out because the Knicks were playing amazing. All they needed was Randall. That was like the missing piece. Outside of that, the West, yeah, it's an older West is trying to get younger. OKC's definitely on that verge. Minnesota's there. But I think, like he said, that Grizzlies, man, the Grizzlies,
Hmm.
they got
Hmm.
Edie, but that's gonna be hard for him to adjust to the fast pace of Memphis because they like to run up and down. So maybe Edie plays 4 minutes at a time, 3-4 minutes at a time, get him out. Let him run for about 3-4 minutes, get him out. Maybe that'll last, for a long season. But that pace for the Grizzlies is gonna be fast, man. As soon as Ja come back, they're gonna run up and down. They're gonna run up and down. They're gonna push the pace. They're gonna score a lot of buckets. They're gonna play defense, get a lot of turnovers, open it up in the open space. Edie definitely will give them that presence in the middle. He will do that. I hope the coach takes a page out the Spurs and slows the game down, and that way the whole team will be able to play together. But the season how it is, they're gonna run through the season fast, and when it comes playoff time, it'll get slower pace on offense because defensive teams they'll be more defensive. But
Hmm.
the East got better, man. The West got better. It's a lot of talent. Chris Paul with the Spurs, they ain't gonna do much. He'll be able to coach those young players on the court, but to make a Western Finals or
Chris
a
Paul,
playoff
Chris
push,
Paul to the Spurs ain't nothing but guaranteed parlay assists, bro. I'm betting,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
betting
that's
that
all it's gonna
all
be.
season long.
Yeah,
But
he,
see the thing about with that though, what his job is more than anything. You just said it. Be the coach on the floor. That's all he's really there
yeah,
for.
he's
He's
there
not.
to help the talent.
Exactly, and to help take Wembenyama, teach him how to be a top level player in the NBA. You can say what you want about him, but if you develop that talent, man, that kid is crazy good. He's crazy good.
Absolutely, because
So
And to that point,
right now he playing off the instinct.
exactly,
that's true. And to
exactly.
that point, that's like with Clay going to the Mavs, right? The
Hmm.
Mavericks could have looked at it in different ways. They could have said, "This is a defender. This is a spot up shooter. This is a pick and roll, guy that can shoot the J anytime." But I really think they got him at the Mavs so Clay could show that younger core players how to pick and roll, how to keep moving without the ball, how to be aggressive on defense, how not to be scared to shoot it when you catch it. So I think that's like a maybe JJ to LA, right? JJ Redick, he'll be able
Hmm.
to teach some of them shooters that know how to shoot but really ain't a shooter. He gonna get them a lot better. It'll be a lot more improved. But I see it that way. You bring in players to give you that coaching on the floor. So, like
Hmm.
he said, Chris Paul to the Spurs, that's gonna be assist all day. He gonna give up some points because he don't play much defense, but it'll
Hmm.
be a coaching element that Popovich can't do actually on the court. Like
Exactly.
LeBron does the same thing, right? LeBron is the coach on
Hmm.
the court. I wish
Exactly.
LeBron had a better coach because he sure would have won another championship. But
Uh,
Okay.
him, yeah,
Now, here's one thing that no one's talking about, and I was just thinking about when we were talking about Dallas and we're talking about Klay Thompson. You know who that benefits also? don't forget they got Quentin Grimes. That I think
Right.
can help.
You'll wait.
Playing with Clay can help his game go even further.
They did
Third
snag
World
Quick
Cougar
Grimes because
Grimes.
they
Shit,
sent Tim Hardaway to go retire. But yeah, definitely.
exactly. So, and that's what he need. And plus, Grimes is back in the state of Texas. Where did he have
You'll wait. Third
impact?
World Cougar.
Exactly. So, and then Klay Thompson, same type of, he's taller, but he's a 3-and-D type of a caliber, or was a 3-and-D type, and he can talk to the young kid about how to, because he can play defense. It's just that, with the Knicks,
he can't play defense like he used to. That's what it was.
No, I'm not talking about Klay. I'm talking about Grimes. Grimes can play defense. It's just that he lost confidence and he was asked to do so much with the Knicks instead of, just let him focus on one little thing. Just let him focus on one. And this is what Klay can do. Klay can go out there and show him and then come to the bench and say, you see what I just did? You see that? Now here's what you read. This is what you read. This is how you play off of it. Defensively, this is how you read, and then watching film. That's why Dallas, you guys are talking about it. That Klay Thompson move now is definitely something that I think is definitely going to be a lot more impactful to Dallas than we all really thought about
it. You know what? And I have to agree with that. And I second that by saying the Western Conference is probably going to come down to the same 3 teams like it came down to this past year. No, Denver. I think Denver is Denver is going in the same direction as Milwaukee did when they won their championship. I don't know what Denver doing. They lost KCP. They missed out on a couple of free agents. I don't know what they're doing. So to me, it's going to come down to Minnesota, who beat Denver, Dallas, who beat OKC in Minnesota, and OKC. It's going to come down to them 3 teams. Them 3 teams, to me.
Don't forget Memphis. I'm telling you. Like you were talking about Memphis. See, here's the thing about Edey. I've watched Edey for 4 years in the Big Ten. And people talk about he can't run. The kid can run. But here's the big thing. He's excellent as a trailer. As a trailer coming down the court, he will rebound, kick it out. He's a very good passer, better than most people think. And then him coming down the court, and he already showed now that he does have a 3-point shot. But here's the thing. He's going to get mismatched with a guard sometime coming as a trailer. And that's going to force the defense to collapse, and he's just going to kick it out to the open man and hit the 3. And then the pick and roll with him and Ja, you can't stop it. You can talk what you want about you can talk what you want about the defensive end. First of all, that man is 7'4", 300 pounds, and does not look like he's 300 pounds
at all.
And I even think that Embiid would have a hard time guarding him. He will get Embiid is used to bullying anybody. He's not going to. He's not going to bully him. Embiid. Now, if you want to say he's going to have problems with, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, Coach, but I think the job that Edey is going to have right away is obviously going to be more the physical style of play. This is one of the reasons why Zach Randolph himself said it after he got drafted. He said, "Yo, the grit and grind era is about to be back." Because now you got a big body up in there. Like, you just had Steven Adams, and now you move to him. See, better offensively, younger guy that's a better rebounder. He can move. Like, his work effort. Shout out to FYF Sports, man. He told me when he was out in Purdue, this kid's work effort was getting up 4 a.m. and working on just about everything. We're talking about somebody that played organized basketball for maybe 7 years, started playing 7 years ago, and his work ethic is just through the roof. We're talking about a guy that was just in the gym, working out, getting his body right, getting better condition. This is a 7'4", 300-pound kid. That's
He'll
not
have
sloppy.
To get in NBA shape for sure.
Yeah. For sure. And I think that's going to be definitely
2-3 years. He'll be a monster.
But I think his advantages right now can work on this team with a Ja Morant, with a Ja Morant, with a Triple J, with a returning Desmond Bain, with a returning Marcus Smart.
Yeah, they got a squad.
They got a squad. Gigi Jackson,
who I of Edey. Edey ain't
Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams, bro. I'm looking at a lot of young players on that team they may be another athlete and another lead and another bench guard away from really,
Exactly.
really
Compete.
making the Western Conference, putting the Western Conference on notice. But as of
That's
right
for real.
now, if
Mm-hmm.
I had to definitively say, OKC probably made the loudest noise by adding Caruso and adding Hartenstein.
Einstein. Yes.
And the
I,
Timberwolves with that draft pick they got, that little draft pick, man, that boy
Dillingham,
got
right.
game, man. That boy gonna drop
Dillingham,
20 a game.
I think Dillingham was one of the pieces that they definitely need. They added another scorer, guy that could go get his own bucket. Um, I want to see what they're gonna do with Slow Mo, because Slow Mo was a big part of what they was doing last year. I want to see if they're gonna bring him back. If they do bring him back, that would be very key. I hope they do, because
Mhm.
Yeah, slow
Minnesota
mo. He plays pivotal role. He's like
yes,
their
he
Draymond
definitely
Green.
played a pivotal role. Nas Reed is still on the books.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is still on the books. Cat, he is what he is. I think Cat could still be that, but he definitely got to fix that foul problem, because he keeps getting in foul trouble like crazy in big games. We've seen it in the playoffs, and we've seen it definitely this year with this run. To me, Dallas still holds the cards, because they have a lot of pieces that can still counter react. They just didn't have nothing for Boston. That's what it was. And to me, in the Western Conference, they knew how to beat a lot of these teams. You don't win convincingly against Minnesota like they did and not know what you're doing, and not they had a very, very favorable matchup to where Luka and Kyrie could be able to exploit a lot of the defense the and once they got Rudy on the island, basically with their live threats, that was basically murder she wrote. And you still got
Man,
Lively. You
Timberwolves
still got,
messed up by not giving the ball to Cat more.
I think I wouldn't even say that. I think the fact that Cat kept settling for threes,
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm saying. Not giving them the ball on the block.
kind of compromised. I think Cat kind of compromised himself in
He
that
did, but
series.
what I'm saying, if me and you the coach, and we the coach, we telling him no more threes, get on the block, create on the block,
But
and kick it out.
you also take one of your big key pieces on the blocks away too, and
Yes,
that's whether you like him or not. It's Frenchie. Frenchie's good down low in terms of rebounding. I'm not talking about offensive scoring, no. And he's good when you get in that rhythm with the pick and roll, and that's why Cat is so many times out on the outer edges. Because now if you
right.
put him on the box, then you're putting Frenchie outside, where he's not really done.
You absolutely right, Coach. But one of the things that they went away from, that they ran in the regular season, is the high low action that they had with
Yeah,
him and
hello.
Rudy. The high low action
Exactly.
that they had with him and Rudy, that they didn't run too much of that. Rudy would lay in the dunk box, and the defense would collapse. He would be
Mm-hmm.
all over the offensive boards and all over the lobs. Kind of like how the team that really maxed that out to me was Dallas, because they used Lively perfectly. They used Gafford perfectly. They used those guys perfectly in the dunk box and in offensive rebound situations, to where
They
you had
lost
to
'cause
pay
they stopped
pay attention to guys like you got to pay attention to Luka when he starts to break defenses down. You got to pay attention to Kyrie when he starts to break defenses down. And now you gave them a shooter. Now you gave them a floor spacer in Clay and another floor spacer in Quentin Grimes. To me, Dallas could run the table, but I think OKC probably made the biggest noise, but with their picks. I just want to see what Minnesota is able to do if they could bring back Slow Mo, and they could bring Rob Dillingham along as a scorer right away, and see what he's gonna add
See,
to the
for
bench.
me, it's always going to be about Memphis, because I just believe that much in Ja Morant's
A
talent.
healthy
He's
time.
that elite, a healthy. If number one, if his mind, that's the biggest thing I'm worried about with him. It's his mind. Because I think, he's coming off of injuries, and I get it, and it's going to take some time to get back into the swing of things. But if his mind is on right and he's focused on basketball, I'm sorry, he's one of, if not one of the top, I will say top 5 players in the NBA, maybe pushing top 3. He's that elite,
I give
and
Ja top 8.
I would give him that, but here's the thing: you still got guys like Luca, you still got guys like Joker, you still got Giannis, you still got Joel,
Yes,
you still
yes,
got those
If we
but
guys
going
to me.
but
position
think about
specific,
when he was playing at his peak and he was no
but
issues.
just go with position specific for the position he plays.
It's not even that. It's how he changes how you defend him and
Yeah,
defend
yeah,
their
I understand
team.
what you're saying. I'm saying when you rank them on
I,
the
I think I
specifics
think
of the
I, I think
position.
you could use that same prowess for SGA
Yeah, true,
because
true,
because
true.
SGA has, like, to me, he has figured out at 6'6", and now he's at lead guard. I think he's figured out how to basically neutralize a lot of defenses, bro. And the thing is, he has a stop and go game, and he has an in between game as well. So I think Ja Morant, when he can get sporadic, he's known to get
He's
sporadic
more
at
of an
times.
attacker.
He could definitely get downhill. We know his talent level. We know how explosive he is, but
He
he
don't
has
got
that
the
deep.
shot like SCA.
He has that Chicago D Rose syndrome. And I'm not talking about the injuries. I'm talking to at a space where he can get sporadic and he can get into one speed where it's like go go go
It's
go go.
150 miles instead of just
Exactly.
dialing it back and
Right.
keeping it cruise control.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
true.
I think John Morant understands. He can have a great understanding at times, but it's also times where he can go gadget and basically go speed racing,
You
and
know
to the
what?
point where he crash and burn.
There's one team that
That's
we're
what's
not
going to be the
talking about.
difference. To me, that's what's going to be the difference about how Memphis stays afloat. If he can maintain control, if he can maintain control, a level of control, I think Memphis can be there. But their identity of bringing back what they had before the injuries, when they had Steven Adams, when they had Tyus Jones, when they had Brandon Clark, Triple J was a defensive player of the year. When they
Tyus
had
Jones
that,
of Washington.
yeah, when they had those key pieces, when they had Dylan Brooks, when they was a top two team in the West, their identity outside of John Morant, they stayed to that because they were a rebounding team. They were a physical team. John Morant was just the explosive guy, but the thing is, he
They
it
played
like
Spurs basketball.
it was the difference between the way John Morant played and the rest of the Memphis team played. It was a
Yeah, they
very
were
big
Fair. That's
more
difference.
fair.
technical. Everybody was more technical, and John Morant was more, like he says, more out of control.
But that's
Exactly.
that's that's why Smart, I think, also can help on that team because he didn't play with Smart. He did not play with Marcus Smart, and Marcus Smart is that type of cat that can temper some guys down in that regard. So, but yeah, what you're saying is true. I give you that. You know, in terms of John Moran, I just think that they're a sneaky good team. And there's one other team that I just thought about: the Pelicans
No,
with the
I'm off
Murray.
them. I'm off them.
I want to see with their lineup. I mean, with Herb Jones, with McCollum, Zion, Valanciunas. Wait, no, did Valanciunas sign there?
Now Valanciunas, he went to
No, he left.
Washington.
He went to
He went to
Washington. That's right.
Washington. They
Got
they lost
Ingram.
Valanciunas. They lost Larry Nance. They lost
Yeah, that's right. They
who
lost
lost they lost
Dyson
Dyson Daniels.
Daniels.
They
Yeah,
lost Dyson Daniels. They
that
did
is
they did
still.
get DeJounte, but I think
I
that
want to see what they can do. I don't think they see the question is are they more of a play in team or are they a legitimate 16 that could be developed maybe if they get another player or two.
I
So
think I think it's all contingent on if
that's on
Zion can
Zion.
stay afloat.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Zion, if he's healthy and he's playing like he normally, he changes the whole dynamic of that team. So,
I think
but
the problem with Zion is basically he has it like the engine don't match the car. You get what I'm saying? The engine just don't match the car. He basically has a lot of the attributes of a top tier athlete, but his physique is not supposed to be doing those type of
of course,
things.
yeah,
A
that's a
lot of a
big.
lot of the way his build is he's not supposed to be doing these things at all. And I'm seeing injuries happen before they actually happen. I think, like, Coach, you've been watching this game a long time, and you seen guys that was like hella explosive, hella first step, hella bounce, and you looked at him and you was just like, yo, he ain't supposed to be doing that. He's not supposed to be doing that. Zion is a perfect example of that.
Charles Barkley.
I saw it in the '90s with Larry Johnson, and I'm seeing it now.
Charles Barkley.
Barkley, and to Barkley's credit, Barkley maxed out a 15-year career at his physique, doing what he was doing, and I don't think we have not seen it since. We have not seen 6'4", 260 something pounds move the way he moved and do the things that he was able to do on the basketball court at the 4 position, and produce the way he produced and put up a Hall of Fame career at that velocity and at that style of play. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it before, and we haven't seen it since. And I don't think we're ever going to see it again.
But that's where Zion comes into play, because he's the closest one. He's bigger than Barkley.
Yes,
being what 6'6", 6'7", and he's pushing 300 pounds at most of the time.
Oh my God!
I mean, but still, to be able to move like that, that's a football player. That's a prime example of a football player, whether you put him on the offensive, defensive line. And for his elevation and athleticism, yes, you're right. We don't see stuff like that. And that's the point. If he could really, number one, with the injuries, you can't control it. But if for some reason, and it's going to start with his weight, you're talking to a big guy who knows all about weight issues and injuries that pop up. You have to tone it down, and I get it, being in New Orleans, hey, you got the good food down there, you got the gorgeous women, you're going to enjoy yourself, you're young, you got money, but you know what? Do you want to win a chip? And that's why I'm like, I'm looking at them, and the construction, the only thing is going to be the center position. But I mean, when you sit down and you think about Brandon Ingles, now, can he get some heart? But CJ McCollum, come on, man, he's a baller. And now you're adding Murray to the mix. I mean, and don't forget about Herb Jones. Herb Jones is a straight ass fucking baller.
Herb Jones, I think he may be one of, if not the best wing defender outside of Jaden McDaniels. To me, I mean, well, you do got to add Drew Holiday and Derek White in the mix, because
yes, of course,
we ain't seen a backcourt like that since Gary Payton and Nate McMillan. So realistically,
one thing about Murray that don't nobody say, they don't never highlight it. They just say about his scoring ability, his 3-point ability, off the ball ability, but he's like a Jason Tatum. How Tatum played this playoffs, everybody mad at Tatum. Tatum didn't drop the 30, 40 points. But to me, Tatum learned from his mistakes, because he said, hey, when I drop my 30 and 40, we lose. But when I do the double-double, because he averaged a double-double the whole playoffs. Murray's kind of like that player. He, during the whole season, oh, man, the dude was killing it with assistant rebounds. Oh, I was eating off of that boy. Oh, I was betting with him. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, assistant rebounds. That man right there, he gonna get you assistant rebounds. It's gonna be about 12, 14 all together, and that's not even including the 30 he could drop. So I think that element with the Pelicans, to credit to our bro right here telling us, like that element right there is gonna help the Pelicans kind of move in a different direction. Because coach says, they already got the shooter. They got Zion. They got, a little inside presence. They got Jones. So with Murray gives you that different element of, I could make plays, I could drop 30, but I do the little things as well, because he's a great defender at times when he wants to be, right? And then he rebounds and he assists the ball very well. And I think that's a part of his game that they don't highlight.
Yeah, that is a part of the game that they don't highlight, and I think he started to showcase a lot of that on his way out of San Antonio when he was an All-Star for that 1 year. He was averaging 19, 9, and 9. For sure. I think Atlanta kind of threw him off a little bit,
because
you put him at the 2, and you paired him in the backcourt with Trae Young, who I feel like got patched right after they made that run to the conference finals. When they somehow beat the Philadelphia 76ers in 7 games, and then I knew it was fluky, bro, because the thing in Trae Young to me was more of a 3-trick pony. It was drive, flail your body, get to the free throw line, step back,
Mm-hmm.
move, or shot, or settle for a long three, a long out of pocket three, or floater. That's what it was. That the 3 simple things: floater, long three, flail your body, see if you can get a foul.
Bingo.
I think DeJounte still has a lot of the things that made him become the player that he eventually became on his way out of San Antonio, and he's gonna bring it to New Orleans. But I still think they need to complete the rest of the team. They lost Larry Nance, who I think was a big presence off the bench. They lost Valanciunas, who was a grown man at the 5 position, bro.
Rebound for
Like
sure.
grown man, he was just grown man strength at the end.
That's
And
10,
he
15 rebounds a game.
that's 10, 15 rebounds a game, and that's a good 15 to 17 points as well because he could stretch the
For
floor.
sure.
Mm,
He hits his
So
free
so
throws too.
yes, and he could hit his
okay.
free throws too.
The
So
Klay Thompson deal is actually a multi-player sign and trade. The
right,
Mavs are sending two second round. I didn't know that to the Warriors. They're
yeah.
sending 2 second rounders.
I
The
mean,
Mavs got a
oh
steal.
man, the Golden State Warriors, man. If
They
they
should have
ain't if
kept
they
Clay.
ain't if they ain't sizzle a steak right now, man, I don't know what they are, man. It's that listen,
Yeah,
it's the
Warriors
beginning.
needed to keep Clay.
I think that is the beginning of the end of the Warriors, how we know them, or how we know them to be. I think Steph, don't get me wrong, Steph, just like Katie, just like LeBron, they're going to continue to put up numbers. They're going to continue to climb all-time heights with their singular play. But the days of
Hmm.
them winning at a high level and dominating the conferences and dominating the league like they have been, from not just an individual standpoint, from team perspective, the team perspective days of them dominating are just pretty much through.
I
And
mean, you can't say that really. I think what you're saying is to build around them strictly as a franchise, it wouldn't be the best thing, right? Because of their age, because how down the line they are. But
right,
actually, man, LeBron, man, that boy, he was averaging damn near 30 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds at the age of 40. And then that boy Curry, he's still unstoppable in a real offense, right? A real offense with spacing. But like to your point, they're not young pieces to think I'm gonna build for the next 5 years.
and they not, it's not 2010s anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And to stamp it, basically, really, I saw that in the playoffs, man. Like with LeBron, and the way that Denver didn't, they couldn't beat Denver at their worst. And Denver was at their worst, and they still
But
lost
that
that
was
series in
coaching
5.
though too. It was coaching. Coach
I
didn't
mean, yeah,
even
yeah.
have
I mean,
Jackson Hayes
listen,
out there.
you could definitely say that, but the Lakers dominated most of that series by like for 140 some over 140 minutes of
Definitely,
that
they should have
series.
had more victories. Yeah,
They
for
should have
sure.
had more victories. Everything came
But
down
that's
to
coaching.
I think everything came down to the wire of them games. Like,
But that's coaching. But what he's saying, when you're right, when it comes down to the wire, it's about your adjustments and what you do, how you use your timeouts, how do you put the guys in the best position
The
to
matchups,
capitalize.
yeah.
Yeah, that's coaching. That's what got him fired.
Fired.
In
They got him
essence,
fired because he didn't use his big lineups. You know, when you got
yeah,
Jackson Hayes, a 7-footer that does between the leg dunk in the game, he didn't. He barely even played. I would have had Hayes at the
right.
5
Uh,
and
le- uh,
had AD killing it at the 4. I would have
hmm
that
had Rui at the
that's
3, and I
these
would
are
have had LeBron at the 2.
these are definitely good ways of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is to say that the LeBron James lost to a team 11 out of the last 12 times, bro. Like, and if you
Nasty.
want to
Yeah,
say,
that was
and if
ugly.
you want to say, and if you want to just solely put that series on coaching, I understand. If you want to put the last 11 out of the 12 times that they lost to the same exact team dating back from the last 2 years, bro. Like on, if you want to solely put that on coaching, I choose not to, me personally. But that's another story for
I
another
mean,
day, man.
players
Kevin Durant,
got to get it
and
done.
yeah, but moving from LeBron to Kevin Durant, who's been swept to 2 of the last 3 years in the first round, and I'm looking at him like, yo, I said this to somebody. I was talking with my pops, man, and I was saying this to somebody, and we was talking about it, and we both kind of agreed. I think Kevin Durant, and I'm going out on a limb here saying this. This might be a hot one. Kevin Durant, he might have the saddest end to an all-time great career probably that I've ever seen.
KD gonna be
And
a
I
rocket.
think and I think for the simple fact that what he was looking for all along, he never found in Golden State. He was trying to find in Brooklyn, and now it's to the point where he's like he's a superstar journeyman. Now
Come
you
on
looking
back
at
to
him.
Texas.
Now you're looking at him trying to get make his way to Houston, still with a large contract. You 30 something years old. You 35, about to be 36 to start the season. You Steph are not in your 20s no more. You Steph and LeBron are not in your 20s. It's not
This is their
2010s
last
anymore.
4 years.
Yes, yeah, this is not 2010s anymore, and I think the rest of the league is catching up. The young stars are catching
Them
up.
young stars.
Yes, the young stars and the younger teams are catching up. OKC has built that team from the ground up when they were basically
Yeah,
told,
OKC did it the right way.
Well,
when they were basically told that when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook left, that this was going to be the end. Sam Presti did not panic, and he did it the right way. Minnesota, they did it the right way. Dallas, they did it the right way. And I'm seeing a lot of these teams in the West that are still young. They still have young stars and young pieces. They are going to continue to be at the forefront for years and years to come,
Developing
because you can
talent.
still build around these 24, 25-year-olds. Ant-Man is not even, he ain't even hit his mid-20s yet. And we already seeing what he's capable of. He's just scratching the surface. We already know what Luka could do. Luka has been 6 to 7 times first team All NBA, and he's only played 8 years, 6 to 7 8 years, and that's his trajectory mark, and what he's able to do in these last 2 years, and where he's able to run that team to the conference finals, and eventually in the NBA finals this year. And then you look at Joker, who's already a made man with 3 MVPs in the last 4 years, and a Finals MVP to go with it, man. Like, the resume of the young pieces and the young stars and the young talent in the Western Conference, they are not phased anymore by nothing that these 2010 stars have done, or probably will continue to do. Not LeBron, not Steph, not Kevin Durant are not phasing these guys anymore. And we've
well,
seen it in the playoffs this year, and we're going to continue to see it. There's nothing that these guys could do, because they are going to continue to get older, and these young players are going to continue to get better. They haven't even scratched their surface yet, man. It's time to move on.
well, that's what you're saying is
Yikes.
true, and that's but Leaf, you've been around long enough to know that's just sports in general. Because we can go back to the days of the 70s into the 80s into you're always going to find those type of situations. The younger guys got to play, and the older guys, you know what? You're trying to hold on for the last licks, but for whatever reason, but eventually you got to let it go and just let the young guys run the league. And that's what hopefully LeBron and KD and Steph, those guys are trusting, because that's a big factor. They've been in that elite position for years, that what, in some regards, you got to trust that you can pass the torch to them. Because remember, with MJ to Iverson to Kobe and to LeBron, it was a fight. It was a fight for MJ. Even when he was with Washington, it was always still a fight. He's saying, I could still do it. I could lead the league. I could dominate at a high level. But in the same token, he has to see that these young guys can carry the mantle and carry the torch, and that's what we're looking for now in some of these young guys. In Ant-Man, can he handle that torch? yes, his antics are good. It's funny. It's good for social media because that's another factor into the equation with social media. It brings these players closer to their audience more than in the past. The John Morants, the Zions, the Maxies. He a future top player? The Tatum and the Brown. They're more quiet and reserved when you really think about it. They're not going to be in the limelight, but they're the leaders of this league right now. And yes, LeBron is 40 years old because in some regards, you want to make sure that, because this is what is taught to these guys, these elite guys. When you pass the torch, make sure who you pass it on to can handle it. And that's the truth. That it went from Bird and Magic to Jordan, then to Jordan down. His was a little bit longer, but to Iverson to Kobe's and so on and so forth. And from Kobe down, and now you're seeing the same thing from KD and LeBron and Steph. In some regards, they want to make sure that the league is flush and it's always going to be there, and you don't run into problems. For whatever reason, your stars. That's why the situation with Ja was so. How can I put it? It's like, wow, you weren't expecting that from someone like him. Showing off guns and things of that nature because young kids look at you. And that's the other factor that we as fans, we don't really put that into the equation with these athletes. That some of these older guys want to make sure that when they pass the torch, they're passing it to the right guy who's going to lead the league and be the right face of the league.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think you mentioned that Ja Morant stamp. On top of that, you already had health issues, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing a guy years ago in Derrick Rose who was
Mm-hmm.
ready to take on the reins of this league, but it was fortunately it was cut short. And now, if it's unfortunate that it's cut short, we've seen that before. You've been around, bro, when Grant Hill was ready to take the keys in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
You was around, and you we seen how it abruptly came to an end after 6 years, bro. Like we talking about somebody who was on his way to holding the league up
Mm-hmm.
and holding that status of the league up. He was looked at when the second that he came in, he was
With
looked at as
Detroit.
that guy.
Yes, he was.
Penny Hardaway. I
Mm-hmm.
think of players like that, and I think, man, yo, these is they had something taken away from them,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. And when I look at John Morant, I look at somebody like, yo, you and Zion, y'all have the opportunity to do great,
Exactly.
but it's not being taken away from y'all. Y'all pushing it away yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Mm-hmm.
pushing it away yourselves. And this is one of the reasons why everybody is clamoring over Wemby. This is one of the
Exactly.
reasons why they clamoring over the overseas guys. They don't want to give them the keys. They don't want to give the overseas guys the keys. They want to give it to you. They want to give it to Ant-Man. They want to give it to y'all. But the thing is, y'all keep showing off y'all urban energy. Y'all keep showing off of what y'all want to do if y'all didn't have a basketball in your hand. Y'all
Thank
want
you.
to show off all of those things, man. And I think you made a key point with the John Morant situation because I look at somebody who was ready to do that, and he got a family already. Your dad is at most of the games. Your daughter is the brightest spot I ever seen, man. If you seen his little
Mm-hmm.
daughter, man, like
Mm-hmm.
man, that's about as wholesome as it gets, man. But the thing is that they don't really want to give it to Tatum. Tatum is not that guy that you think he is. They kind of do, but they don't, but they can't because Tatum is not who Ja Morant is, or he will eventually be. Tatum is not who Zion is projected to be. Tatum is a guy that came along and then an injury came along to somebody else, and then he fought his way
Mm-hmm.
into that spot. But he never had the all out capabilities and the all out ceiling that Zion and Ja Morant eventually has and still has to this day. and it's people, and I go on different podcasts, and I go on different areas, and I hear I'm out on Zion. Nah, I can't do it with Ja Morant no more. Nah, I can't. Like it's guys that's already like, yo, can't do it with him, man. Yo, you can't be messing. You can't be fumbling the bag like
Mm-hmm.
that. You
Exactly.
can't do it. But to end it off, Coach, man, I'm say this one last thing. I think you 100% right about the veterans and the guys that had the keys for so long. And you look at
Mm-hmm.
somebody like LeBron, it's 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
20 years is a long time, man. Like, man, come on, man. Like, it's kids that's 20 years old. You know, they was born in 2003, 2004. And they still ain't old enough to drink. And their whole life has been LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing that, and I'm saying to myself, and a lot of people is like, I'm always gonna be mad at LeBron James, man. But my thing is, this is for basketball reasons. But you can't necessarily be mad at LeBron James for a spot that's being hugged for so long that he embraced from the very beginning as an 18
Exactly.
year old, as
Mm-hmm.
an 18-year-old kid, and you never looked at him and said, "Yo, you messed up off the court.
Nope.
You ruined this
Mm-hmm.
off the court. You did this
Mm-hmm.
off the court." You never
Mm-hmm.
said that to him. And this was an 18-year-old kid. And whether you want to say he was pampered, whether you want to say, man, that he was treated with child gloves, you could say all of those things. But the thing is, LeBron James never disappointed you in the news to anything of the extent that Ja Morant did.
Exactly. And that's
And
the
yeah,
that's the
man.
biggest point that we as fans sometimes we really forget. We get consumed with everything else, whether it's fantasy points or just wins and losses for our team. And you leaving our team, you a bitch and all this and that. But you know what? You can kill LeBron for the show that he put on where he said, "I'm making the decision to go to Miami." Okay, but still, you have to respect him as a man and as a leader in this league, and how he shows how he envisions this league and how it should be, because it was the same way it was presented to him, and it really was. And he's just doing the same thing. He's honoring what Kareem passed on, what Dr. J, you can go down the line, and this is what he's
Right.
doing, and we're waiting for. And if it's going to be Wemby, and because now the argument is, these international kids, they're stepping their games up.
Right.
What's up with the kids over here? I mean, I have a running thing right now with football where America got blown out by Japan in American rules football and just lost to Austria. And it's like, wait a minute, that's our own
Damn.
stuff. And if
Damn.
you look at basketball, it's like, the rest of the world is saying, hey, America, you're not the big bad boy that you think you are anymore. And
And
that's what.
and you absolutely right. And the thing is, we have the dream team with Jordan, Magic, Bird, and all of
Mm-hmm.
those players to thank for that, because back then, when a lot of those countries seen them, they were fans. It was just a sight to behold.
Exactly.
But what the smaller kids from them other countries that eventually became Dirk Nowitzki, that eventually
Mm-hmm.
became Giannis Antetokounmpo, that eventually became Nikola Jokic, that eventually became Luka Doncic, who was playing professional basketball at the age of 16, that
Mm-hmm.
eventually became Tony Parker, Ginobili's, and all of these guys. They caught up and they basically said, "Hey, I could play this game, and I can come from a faraway place and come all the way here and build a Hall of Fame career." Those are some of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest names that we know, and international names in this league. And I'm saying that to say, man, and a lot of people say, bro, yo, it's because they changed the rules and this that. If you want
Mm-hmm.
to say that, that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, they grew up with the same visual of with the Kobe's and the AIs and the Jordans and all of those guys, the same visuals that we had, and they went out there and took on the world. My thing
Mm-hmm.
is that, like LeBron James, if you like, I felt like he still maintained the level of professionalism from
Integrity.
day one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
because even with the little stuff of, we don't like the little complaining and all of that stuff
Yeah.
behind the scenes, that's fine with me. But the thing is, LeBron James the true integrity of the game and the true integrity of how you need to be a professional.
Mm-hmm.
I think he stood on that, and he stood on that by not having anybody beside him, to kind of level him along with that. When we seen Magic and Bird, when we seen
Yeah.
Magic, he had his dad, he had his family with him. When we seen
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, he had his father with him, who was
Mm-hmm.
murdered.
Exactly.
We saw that, and when that was taken away from him, it pretty much almost turned him into a monster, and turned him
Mm-hmm.
into somebody where this game was basically conquering him. And Magic Johnson said it in 1993. He's pointed at the media and said, y'all gonna make him leave. Y'all gonna
Mm-hmm.
make him run away, man. Like, because he been
Mm-hmm.
put, and sure enough, in 1993, when all of that stuff
Mm-hmm.
happened, he walked away
Walked
from
away.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is that LeBron, even though he never been through any of that, and God, and Godspeed to his son who had the heart condition and everything, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
really play with that heart stuff, because I do remember Hank Gavis. I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
you do too.
Yes, sir.
And I hope that this is a lesson to a lot of the youth, and I'm thinking of guys like Ace Bailey. I'm thinking of a guy like Dylan Dylan
The
Harper. I'm thinking
Harper.
of a guy like
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag. I listen. What I want to say, and one last thing I want to say to y'all, young man, is listen. Pay it forward. When it's time, it's time. You pay it
Mm-hmm.
forward, but this is professional. And no matter how many times you get on Instagram and Twitter and things like that, just at the end of the day, carry yourself like your like your family would be proud of you carrying yourself. Like your mom, your dad, and so many others that cannot be on this level to carry yourself. Because so many good players that came and went and had that spot, and it's very few that had that spot, and it got taken away from them. I think about Penny Hardaway. I think about Grant Hill. I always think about Brandon Roy. I
Mm-hmm.
think about guys
Mm-hmm.
like that. You gotta hold down the fort, Coach. Man, it's always it's always good talking with you, man. I'm gonna get going.
Always. I appreciate you.
Man. We gonna lock in for more of the WNBA talk, man, and
Mm-hmm.
everything, man. And the football season, definitely, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the Tangerines stink it up, and I will be back soon, man. Definitely
Most def.
salute the coach, man. And follow, and make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe button on the coach page, man.
Same
I'm
thing
out,
with
coach.
Leaf, man. Check out
Appreciate it.
Leaf. Hit him up. Let Leaf 4788 on YouTube. It was right there with him the other day, rocking with the WNBA, covering two games, Liberty game, and then he covered the Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever. So he loves basketball. So and definitely tap into him. We all do. We love basketball. He loves it just as much as I do. He's growing into the W. I've been in it since day one, so I'm well vested in it. So and I'll be talking a little bit more about the W. It's just that today wanted to focus strictly on the NBA and everything that's been going on. And it's been exciting. It's been interesting. And hey, like he calls my Knicks the Tangerines. I love stuff like that, man. I mean, it's I don't take it personal, and that's the thing. As fans, sometimes we take things a little bit too personal. It's like it's going to be like that all day, baby. It's going to be like that all day, or they get you. It's going to be like that all day. All right, keep bringing it. Bring it. I love trash talk, man. So, when Nets fans talk about the Knicks, hey, okay, we do the same thing back or whatever. Boston, I can't stand Boston, but hey, and I bring the hate for Boston from two perspectives, as a Knicks fan, but also as an old school Lakers fan. So, but again, today was all about NBA talk, and I really loved it. I really appreciated it. Whether we were talking about winners, losers, the CBA, the impact that it has, on the long term spending, the money that's being spent, the movement, the new contracts, whether Paul George, we could debate, he got overpaid. Heck, you can even debate, OG Anunoby, $212 million over 5 years. That's a lot of money. Definitely is. But sometimes teams have to do what they have to do because they feel that they're in that position to compete at the top level. OKC, man, hey, great pickup and getting Hartenstein, and Leaf brought up a great point, which I forgot about, Caruso. I mean, that's taking a valuable player, an all-around player away from Chicago, and what's going to happen there, so again, going back into winners and losers. I mean, Detroit, I didn't even talk about, them signing Bickerstaff as their new head coach. He was with Cleveland the past few years, and now he's with Detroit. What can he do over there? The young players. I mean, don't forget that they just signed what's his name? Their young player. What's his name? I forgot his name. Cunningham. Cade Cunningham to a multi-year contract. That goes back to the money that's being spent in the NBA. Hey, man, the money's there. We as fans, we're watching it, and that affords them the opportunity, the benefits of doing that. Whether you're streaming it, whether you're watching League Pass or watching regular TV, you watch, First Take. I mean, you got to think about that. ESPN pays them because, when Stephen A's talking about basketball, whether you like him or you love him, but he's talking about it and we're tuned in. NBA today, the NBA, all these shows, that's money that these guys are benefiting from. That's because of us, because we're consumed with it. So enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna be honest. Those of you who know me, I am football through and through, and I never thought I would be this consumed with the NBA, and not just my Knicks or maybe the Lakers, but every team. I love what Orlando is doing. I love Ben Sherrill. I really do. I like his game. My partner NYG will tell you, I talk about him a lot. Guys with the Hardcore Sports Network, they will tell you, I talk about him a lot and what they're doing and building there. And it's not going to be long before Orlando is going to be one of the top teams in the East, competing for the Eastern Conference Championship. And that's the things that I'm looking at. I'm waiting on Milwaukee. What are they going to do? Are they going to do anything? So, and then we go out west and we touched on, all the teams there, Minnesota, Memphis, who am I forgetting? We talked about so many teams out there. OKC, Dallas. I mean, it's a beautiful thing right now in terms of the NBA and what's happening. And then the global aspect. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Within 5 years, I'm expecting them to have a Europe division, or having a couple teams out there playing, maybe throw teams down in Mexico, a team or two up in Canada. The talent that comes out of Canada. We talked about Zach Edey. You talked about all these players that are, what's his name with OKC. I mean, it would not surprise me if the NBA finally says, you know what, we're going to go for it, and we're going to put teams in Europe, and this way we can develop and then really get at it in a global perspective. Because that, to me, would really hone this in. And now, to be honest with you, now you're competing with soccer. Now you're really competing with soccer, and it's something that you will then be able to draw the kids in and see what they're doing in Africa, and that's why I say now I've just been so consumed more with basketball than I have with football. I mean, football's around the corner, so I'm not saying I'm going to forget about it, especially my college. I'm definitely going to be talking about my college football and its alignment, but basketball, as a sports fan, as a content creator, I'm loving this stuff because there's stuff that we can talk about, we can interact about. You can throw stuff at me. Hey, coach, why don't you talk about this? Or what do you think about this? Seriously, I mean, I'm open to anything. So, but with basketball, I'm just getting into it a whole lot more. So, and I hope you guys are getting into it, and you're feeling the excitement for whatever team you root for, whether they're the best team in the league or the worst team in the league. it's just the fact that it's basketball and it's growing. And hopefully, like Leaf and I were just talking about, we get the right guys to take over leadership and keep us guided in the right direction. Because that's the beauty of this sport too. Your lead, because people talk about KD. KD is not that type of a leader. He's strictly just about playing basketball. He gets his money. He wants his money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about that. But if we just put money aside with all these players, he just wants to go in the gym and shoot the rock and play basketball. That's it. He don't want to talk about business. He don't want to talk about anything else. He just wants to play basketball. And that's the thing. KD is not the type that's gonna lead. What's up, man, Cave? Thanks for tapping in, man. I really appreciate you. I hope your stream went very well today too. So, you see I'm still rocking. So, but in terms of, hey, Brunson, I could see Brunson, if his game continues to flourish, being one of the top leaders because he, honestly, you could say whatever you want about the Villanova playing for the Knicks, but he does everything right. He's a good representative of the game of basketball, and that's important. That's extremely important because that also shows the younger generation how to be professionals. Like we talked about it. Luka started playing professional basketball at 16. That's what these European kids are doing. They're playing with grown men at such a young, and they're learning to be professionals. That they come over here, they know how to be professionals. They don't get caught up in any drama. They get their families, whatever, but you don't see them, going to the strip club, throwing up a lot of money, or they're putting their business out there on Main Street. They keep it private, so that way they're a good representative of the sports. And that's what we need our kids to understand. You know what? Guys like Brunson can be a good representative. Ja Morant, elite talent. But bro, man, that gun stuff just threw everyone for a loop, including me. I was a big Ja Morant fan. I'm not saying I'm off of him, but it's like, as a grandfather, I don't want my granddaughter seeing that and thinking that's how players and athletes are supposed to be. No, you're supposed to act in a certain manner. And that's why when people, kill LeBron, like Leaf said, you've never seen or heard of him doing anything wrong, man. People really need to respect him. You may not like what he's did, his business decisions, whatever, his antics on the court. But every damn player does that. Luka sits there and complains with the ref. Every player does. Even Brunson. Brunson complains with the ref sometimes. NYG will tell you, Unpopular Opinion Sports will tell you, I was a big hounder of Julius Randle because that was his thing. They're going down court and you're standing back there crying to the referee. Get your ass down there and play basketball. Every athlete does that. But what do you do off the court? For everything that I complain about Julius Randle, great father, great husband, great leader, great representative. And those are the type of people that we need to be highlighting more than anything as leaders of this beautiful sport of basketball. And hopefully we fans can get together and really, if you talk to these athletes, look, you'd be a great representative, whoever it is, what's his name for OKC. I don't hear any issues with him. He'd be, and he's from Canada. I get it. Heck, even RJ Barrett, for the most part, when he was with the Knicks, no major issues, and that's what I'm looking for future leaders in this game. Not guys who are just going to, you got to worry about, are they going to be getting in gunfights or carrying guns and getting on social media and presenting themselves in the wrong way. Look, straight up, you are a business. Your body is your business, but you represent not only your body and you, the team you play for, the NBA, and your family. And that's what we need guys to get back to understanding. Look, plain and simple. Let's just play basketball to a certain extent, but carry yourself in a professional manner. And if you do that, this sport will continue to grow and flourish. And as I get older, I'll still be tapped in and be rooting hard and trash talking against whoever, Boston, the Nets, the Sixers, it don't matter, but all in fun. But these young players I'll be proud of because they're doing it the right way. So and this is an Olympic year, so I want to see our players when they go playing internationally, they handle themselves in a professional manner. So so I mean, hopefully you guys feel the same way. No one's saying anything in the chat, so but that's just an old man with his rant. And hopefully we see our sport continue to grow and grow and be more. So, but I've been on here a little over 2 hours. I mean, I didn't think it would go this long, but it's been a great stream today. I really appreciate, everyone who's been here, Man Cave, NYG, East Coast, my brother. Thank you for being here, Coach. Butterfly, Nick Kuko, Nikki Stees, Tommy, thanks for tapping in. Leafs, thanks for tapping in and on the panel. You guys did a great job. Interchange, you're new to me, so make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe and hit the notification and share on all your social media platforms. Who else am I forgetting? I'll also work on the commercials, make sure I get the right ones out there so it's done right and I represent those who support me the right way. Apologize to Go Travels. I thought I had the right one. So just making sure I cover everyone who tapped in. Philly Halftime, thanks for being here, bro. I really appreciate and love you as always. Looking forward to our work this coming weekend. And did I cover everybody? Arku, yeah, you were here. You were one of the first ones here. Congratulations to your OKC Thunder. Good pickup there with Hartenstein. Luca, thanks for being here. Chad, Raf, El Capitan, nothing but love and respect for you. Also, make sure you go tap into everyone's channels that I'm talking about. Daniel Berry, thanks for being here. Covered everyone. So this week, tomorrow, I'll be 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'll be with my brother, Unpopular Opinion Sports, also known as NYG22. We'll be doing another Heart of the City. So we'll be diving really into a lot that's going on. Make sure I'll have my thorough coach's corner for you guys. Also Wednesday, I'll be jumping on with the Pick and Roll podcast. So we'll be talking a little bit more of the NBA in depth. So make sure you tap in there. I'll also be doing 7 o'clock on Wednesday, another Coach Ed's Reading the Tag sports show. So we'll definitely get into that. Thursday, I'll be doing the Full Court Press with my man Next Shift Randy and Nick, where we'll be talking about the W. Getting into the WNBA, really going on what's going on there. Got a lot to talk about with the Liberty, with what's happened recently with the Commissioner's Cup. We lost that game. Damn. Plus, there's some big games coming on. Talk about what Leaf just covered this weekend in terms of the Mercury and the Fever, what's going on with the Fever. Talking about my girl Angel and my boy NYG's. Camila Cardoza, yes. Definitely going to be talking about her and everything that's going on in the W, with the ladies there. Just, I know I poke fun in terms of, their sex appeal, but it's more about their play. They play some great basketball there. They're very fundamentally sound. Friday, 6 o'clock, I'll be bringing you the final version of this week's Coach Ed Reading the Tag sports show, to finish it up. And Saturday, I'll be doing with Philly Halftime another episode of the Halftime Coaching Adjustment Show. Two old farts like Halftime and myself, just talking about sports, but we're also going to talk about life. A lot of things that's going on in life, and we hopefully we'll have another special guest interviewee, a guest member on the panel. So a lot going on with me this week, and then Sunday we'll see what happens. Whether I'm on another live stream, or maybe I'm going to cover a WNBA game. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, but that's it for today. I really appreciate everyone for being here and taking the time to be with me. You guys have been fabulous. Thank you for always supporting me. So, with that, I'm going to close out with another intro outro of the Coach Ed's Reading and React show. Thanks a lot. Appreciate everyone for being here. Love y'all. Peace.
Yo, it's Coach Ed. Got the insights, no boast. From the rookies in the youth leagues to the seasoned pros, ladies ballin'. fellas fighting all around the globe. Breaking it down dynamic. You know, tune in, listen up. Don't wanna miss the flow. It's Coach Ed Reed and Attack the Sports Show. From the courts to the field, he's got the stats. Dropping knowledge is where the real fans at. So stand up, get ready for the play. Wave your arms in the air, let's hear you say. Coach Ed, our mentor on the mic. Breaking down the game, every highlight. Analyzing plays, court the turfs to like youth leagues, college dreams, pro spotlight. Tackling the flats, defense or attack. He's got the vision, shows you where it's at. We grab the scoop, no stone left unturned. In Coach Ed's realm, the knowledge earned.